Hi, I'm Biddy Nichols with eXp Realty. I'm interviewing local small business owners to show the community what they have to offer. Today, I'm here with Kelly Wright Jones and Heather Wright. Kelly Wright is the owner of Kelly, the Notary, and they're both owners of Hickory Pet Sitter. Thank you guys so much for being here with me today.
Thank you for having us.
I look so forward to interviewing you guys. Let's start with the Notary first. So
Okay.
you're a mobile notary.
Right, mobile notary,
And loan signing agent.
certified loan signing agent.
That's incredible.
Thank you. Yes,
You're
I love it.
So, what is the best way to contact you?
The best way is my cell phone, which is 828-238-0200. And that's usually by text is the easiest. But I also have my website, which is kellythenotary.com.
Okay. And what areas do you service?
For the mobile notary, I'll go anywhere. That's the best thing to say. I'll go anywhere. For the mobile notary, I will, if you come to me, there's no mileage charge. If I go to you, it's 62.5 cents a mile. But I'll go wherever. It just is a matter of how much it costs. And a lot of times if someone calls me and they're farther away than really makes sense for me to go to them,
Right.
I'll help them find someone closer to them. I have a place on my website where I can help them get to the Secretary of State's website.
Wow.
And they can type in their address and it'll find someone closer to them.
That's so nice. I know I was looking on your website and your prices are so affordable to be
Right.
able to use you.
Well, the Secretary of State has it set so that notaries all across North Carolina can only charge $10 per notarized signature. So no notary can charge over that. Some of them will put in administrative fees and things like that, but they're not supposed to. It's only supposed to be $10 per notarized signature and 62.5 cents a mile. And that has to be agreed on before actually going.
Wow. Yeah, that makes it extremely affordable for people to be able
It is.
to
It
have
is.
things notarized. Now, do they need to make an appointment?
It's easier if they make an appointment because they know for sure that I'm going to be available, and because I have other things that I do with the pet sitting business, and Heather and I have a lot of stuff going on with that. But I like to be able to help everybody. So if you make an appointment, I know for sure I can get there. But a lot of times people are in the middle of selling a car and need something right now. So I also try to accommodate all of those.
Right. Live.
Yeah,
Live
exactly.
happens.
Exactly.
What are the different needs for a mobile notary and a loan signing agent that they
Well,
can call you for?
The biggest needs are lately have been power of attorney and living will or car titles.
Yeah.
So those I go to probably more than anything else. I used to do a lot more loan signings, and those are usually done with a title agency or a law firm or a lender, and those are usually scheduled a lot different than the power of attorney and all of those, but usually those are scheduled quickly. So.
Right. Yeah, I mean, you're handling one of the most important documents that you need for
For
life,
life, yeah.
honestly.
Yeah.
So it's so good that you're affordable and you're helping with all these big processes that people would have.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
Welcome. How does the process work?
Well, the most important thing is having a current valid ID.
Mhm.
So IDs that are expired are not allowed. And I can actually use a passport, a current passport. Some people's IDs are expired, but their passports are still valid. So I can use those. But that's the most important thing. That's the first step in the process. And then I make sure that you are who you say you are. And that's the most important thing for a notary, is to make sure.
Right.
So that's the first step in the process. And then make sure that there's no blanks, that everything's filled in. And one thing, kind of to go off the subject, but on a car title, people think that the buyer and the seller have to be present. They don't. The seller who is on the title, so if there's two sellers on the title, they both have to be present. But the seller has to be present for the sale of a car or anything on a title.
Yeah.
But the buyer's name, you have to have the buyer's name, but the buyer does not have to be present.
Wow, that's good to know.
So a lot of people think that the buyer has to be present. The buyer does not have to be present. Just have to have their name. So you can write the name on the title. If you don't write the name of the buyer on the title, it's an open title. That's what's illegal. But if you have the buyer's name and you put the buyer's name on the title, and I confirmed this, everybody who can hear, I confirmed this with the DMV or the tag office. If you have the buyer's name, you can put the name on there, but they don't have to be present. So anyway, so the rest of the process, you have verify who the person is, make sure there's no blanks, and then have the person sign in front of you. So whoever you're notarizing has to actually sign in front of you. In some cases, if it's not a sworn statement, they can, if they sign before you see them, they can tell you that it was them that signed. But to avoid any confusion, it's better if they only sign in front of the notary.
Yeah, it's better to wait.
Yes.
Have a signature there. Especially, I did not know that about the knowledge with the car title. Like, only the seller would be there, which is so good because sometimes it's hard.
If you know for sure who's buying your car, you can have their name.
Wow.
First, middle, and last to put on the title.
I did not know that. That's incredible.
Yeah.
Piece of knowledge.
Yeah. That was because as soon as I decided to start notarizing titles, at first when I became a notary, I didn't want to do titles because everybody's so afraid of what's going to happen. Because it's scary and everybody threatens you, that's illegal. And but with car titles, the seller has to be present because that's who is notarized. But the buyer does not have to be there as long as you put their name on the title when you sign it.
Wow. That's exciting to know.
Yeah.
It's so neat. So what about the different services that?
Just the attorney, living will, there's car titles, there's statements. Sometimes people need statements. There's I've done divorce decrees. Well, divorce statements that just if it's a non-contested divorce, they've got papers from the court.
Makes it a lot cheaper than going to an attorney.
It does. It does. If all the papers are drawn up and it just has to be notarized. So a lot of times people have papers and it's like applications, different things that they have to submit. If it says it has to be notarized, as long as sometimes I have to see it to make sure that it's exactly what I can do. But if it says it has to be notarized, most of the time I can do it. And a lot of times people will send me a picture, and I look at it and say, I think I can do that, or I can do that.
Oh, okay. So that's good to kind of give it a heads up. Hey, can you do this or can you not before everyone draws out there? I mean, wow, that's incredible. And you also, I've seen that you also have forms.
Right. Sometimes people will have stuff they want notarized. They can choose from the forms that I have. I can't tell them which forms they have to use. They have to choose. So, because if I choose, that's considered practicing law.
We cannot do that.
And I cannot do that. I am not an attorney. I do not have a law degree. I cannot practice law. So they can choose from the forms that I have. And there's, I think, 4 or 5 forms that I have in my bag that they would choose from. There's one that has a place for them to write a statement, and they can write a statement and I can notarize that statement.
Oh, okay. That's good to have.
Yeah.
I mean, just in case something happens and you don't in the future be able to file it. And
right, exactly.
Be reasonable to be able to do that.
Something that I found yesterday that people think, someone did a power of attorney, and he called and said, I'm trying to get this stuff done at the bank with my dad's power of attorney. I'm trying to do some paperwork, and they're telling me that it hasn't been filed with the county. And I said, well, okay. He said, well, who's supposed to do that? It's not me.
No.
It's the person with the power of attorney who's supposed to file it. I don't file the paperwork. I just notarize it. So if you get a power of attorney, the person getting the power of attorney has to file it, not me.
Yeah. It's incredible that you're a mobile notary too, because most of the time when people are calling you needing these documents notarized, it's like, hey, I'm having like a panic, hard time going through this.
No, nursing homes. A lot of times people are in nursing homes, in the hospital. I'll go to them. A lot of people. I've gone to the jail many times, done many things for inmates, family members needing to get the inmates things out of their cars, out of impound or whatever. So I've done a lot of things. Like I've done a divorce. Somebody was divorcing an inmate, and I've done that. So yeah, I do a lot of different things like that. But yeah, I'll go to the jail. I'm on good terms with the people at the jail. So
wow, that is so nice.
a lot of and I feel bad too. A lot of people are, won't. They're like they said they hesitate to call because nobody wants to go to the jail, but. You're protected. There's no danger. So, and most people in jail the inmates are more than happy to be friendly to you because they want you to help them. So,
right.
Again, not practicing law, just signing a form, making sure
you are who you say you are.
Exactly. That's all.
That way they can have
the notary does. Exactly.
Well, we talked about a little bit what to bring. So what's everything they need to bring?
I'll usually have a pen, or very rarely do I not have a pen because I have special pens that have my logo on them. So I have pens. They need to bring whatever they need notarized and their ID. I don't meet at my house. I work out of my house, but I don't meet at my house because we have a lot of pets because we're pet sitters and we love animals. But I usually meet at a location very near my home. Bojangles is usually where I meet because we can go in and sit at a table. Usually Bojangles ends up making a sale because we're there, so they don't mind. But just need to bring whatever they need notarized and their current valid ID, which could be, I have a list on my website of all the things that they could use for an ID, or places that we could meet on there.
I didn't see that. Acceptable meeting locations.
Exactly.
And you actually have quite a few that you will. Hey, these are good meeting spots, like mainly public, which is
exactly public locations. Yes. Yeah.
Which is incredible.
Yes.
So, is there anything else that you want to add, highlight on, or?
I don't think so. My hours. I work pretty much whenever. Some days I'm booked up and can't meet, but most people are pretty flexible. I have told people, sorry, I can't, I'm busy today, and they'll either go back online and try to find somebody else, or, I tell them to call me back. If they can't find someone, maybe I can squeeze them in, but most of the time I'm available. This is what I do full time. This is my full-time job with this and pet sitting, and this is, my lifeline. So this is, I'm happy to help anytime I can. I enjoy it. It's my favorite thing, meeting people, being with people. So I love being a part of the Chamber of Commerce and meet a lot of people that way. So
yes, you are part of the Chamber of Commerce, which is incredible also to be able to have your services too.
Yes.